I want to talk about John and his compost. It's late November, and John and his compost, the basis of it is a turf stack. Now, the John and his compost which you buy in these bags from your garden centre isn't really John and his compost. It hasn't got the John and his base fertiliser in, which I shall describe later. But for now, we'll talk about the basic ingredient which you must have, which is a turf stack. Now, first of all, we're going to put some farmyard manure over this. You can see there. And before I started, I put my pH meter in, and it's bang on neutral 6. So I don't need to put any lime. I've done it with my meter. Now, if it was say 5, if it was 5 the pH, then I'd need to put a bit of lime, just sprinkle a bit of lime in layers, not so much, only a dusting. And so now we've got a foot of turf, and I'm going to put the manure on just to enrich it. Normally the turf would be enriched if it came from a farm by farm animals, but this hasn't been enriched by farm animals. It's had another type of animal on it called cricketers, which I don't suppose they'd like being described as animals, but they can be when they get whacking them sixes. Put that down, and then we start with the turfs, and usually we're aiming for sides of about 75 degrees, just sheds the water off. And the idea is to lay them a bit like bricks, so that they're not going to fall apart. You can see there that they're also placed upside down, and that's going to make the grass sods rot down. It's a matter of finding the right pieces to go in. Any small bits can be used to fill these gaps. And then a little bit patting down, that's another layer. Then we'll have a pause. Right, we've got another 12 inches or so of turfs on top of our manure. In between there are a few worms, and I'll just take them out and they'll go for the birds or get their freedom. And then now another bit of manure on top, just for a bit of enrichment again. It's not a very big turf stack, not a commercial one, but this will serve for two years for me making John and his compost. John and his potting compost, that is. Some nice layer there. And then finally more turfs on top. Again. We are getting towards the pinnacle of this small turf stack, so we can't put much more on. Just pat him down again. And then a bit of the loose soil what we have just sprinkled over the top, fill any gaps. Now you can cover this with a tarpaulin, black plastic or something like that, but for now, until I get that on, I will just put this over till I get my black plastic over the top to keep the rain off. Then that will all rot down into proper loam. And so there you have it, your loam stack over and out. A second. So here we are with my black tarpaulin. So that will keep it nice and dry. It will gradually go into proper loam. A few bricks, just hold it in place, and in a year's time we'll have proper loam for proper John and his compost. So I hope you're all clear with that. Any questions, put it on the questions below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Right, here we are with some John and his compost which I mixed earlier. Now you can see the consistency of that, whatever that is anyway. You can see how it is, it just crumbles through your hands. It's not like sand, it's not like dust, and it just sticks slightly together. And we're just potting some Primula mollicoides which I grew from seed which I sowed on the 4th of June. We have got some others that are further on than these. These were the later ones. I'll just firm it down with the fingers. And there you have it, the Primula mollicoides in a 3.5 inch pot. And so now we'll go down to the greenhouse and see the end results. So we're now down at the 8x5 lean-to over the kitchen. Now this greenhouse so far hasn't been heated, but I do have big bubble insulation. Now the plants that I have in here will stand a few degrees of frost. Not that they've got any, even though we've had frost. Which are Primula mollicoides. I've also got Schizanthus, which will also stand a few degrees of frost, and in actual fact they like it cold. Now, as I've probably said before, I can't understand why Primula mollicoides are not more popular. In fact, they're not popular at all. You can't get them. The seed is like dust. I saw them on the 4th of June, as I said. You know, a plant pot, what we call a pan of John and his seed compost. You sprinkle it on the top, having pre-watered it, and you just press them in, you don't cover them, and then you put them in a cold frame and they will germinate in the cold frame. And then you prick them out and then pot them up, as you've just seen, into 3.5-inch pots. And then, now here we are, we're at the end result. These are gone into 5.5-inch pots, some clay, some plastic, doesn't matter. And you can see there. So if you go inside, what could be better than that? Another one here further on. Yeah, why aren't they more popular? And then we've got all these up here. Those are later. The very pale, delicate pink is the popular one. These were a packet of mixed, so there's not all that many pale pink in, but there are a few others, other shades, as you can see. And so these were all potted into my own John and his number 2 compost, made in the same manner as what I've described. So this is it. So over and out, and subscribe. Bye bye.